Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Welcome back to Matt Chat. It's my favorite show on this channel, Larson, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
It's because we get all these great video questions from our patrons at patreon.com/Steven Larson. At the $20 a month mark, you too get your video on this particular show. And what are you drinking over there?
It's just some Rockstar. Man, it's hitting the spot.
Who puts Rockstar in a solo cup?
Well, I didn't want to have the whole can just hanging out here. It's easier to hold on to.
Yeah. You're a little bit of an oddball. Speaking of oddballs, we've got a bunch of great Matt chatters.
You know when you drink wine, you're supposed to drink some in your mouth and get
understand
some air.
it. You
get some
understand.
air in there and you swish
air.
it around. You want to get some air, so that's what I do.
This isn't wine. This is...
I do that so I get some air in my mouth.
That was a bit like Anthony Hopkins in that one movie where he eats people. Yeah.
That's what he did.
I'm going to eat brains with fava beans or whatever. Anyway, this is Matt Chat. I love this show because you get all these video questions from people, and it's like, wow, we actually do have people out there who like watch our show, and they send us video questions.
They do.
And then we answer them.
We do.
I love this show. I think it's fun. A lot of fun. Every single week we watch these things, and like unexpected things happen, funny things happen, good questions appear out of nowhere.
We got a real fun video towards the end of the show. Wow, that's a lot of fun.
From who? Which one?
Well, just wait.
Oh.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
All right, very good.
But it's worth watching pretty much the entire episode just to see this one question.
Is it the one that is the... Okay. That's a good one. Anyways, we have a couple of new Matt chatters. We're going to hop right into this with one of our new Matt chatters, Christopher Ramprasad. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello, Steven Larson. What are the top 5 greatest matches of the year so far?
Thank you, Christopher.
Thank you, Christopher.
Man, oh man, he might be my new favorite Matt chatter because he kept his question really short.
Yeah.
You never go wrong when you
we
keep your...
like short questions.
Love the short questions. But you know what? Long ones are great too.
Yeah.
Anyways. So best matches of the year so far. So I'm going to throw this out there. Omega Okada 4, it's kind of a boring answer. But it probably is best match of the year. It might be the best match of all time, or at least in the top 3. I'm going to take that out of the equation, though. The G1 is happening right now where a lot of fantastic matches are going down. I've only seen the first 3 nights. So I'm not really up to date. However, I will say this. I'll throw this out there as kind of a dark horse candidate for best match of the year. What is that?
No, it's just Rockstar still, man. It's just really hitting the spot right now. It's really refreshing. I needed the energy. Anyways, continue. Don't mind me.
The Gauntlet match on Raw.
Yeah, that was good.
That featured Seth Rollins going over an hour. That, to me, was the most surprising performance. Didn't see that one coming. Everybody was tweeting about it and talking about it and all that kind of stuff. It was a performance for the ages. I feel like WWE has more great matches on their regular TV shows than they do on their actual pay-per-views. That seems to be the case. Raw is always good for at least one really damn good match a week, maybe a couple a month. SmackDown featured this past week a really slam-bang main event between the Bar and New Day. But I'm going to go with Seth Rollins in that Gauntlet match. I think that was fantastic. It lasted,
the whole match was about 2 hours.
It was the first 2 hours of that episode of Raw. That's fantastic. So unexpected.
Pretty neat.
So unexpected.
That was neat.
But there's a lot of matches out there I have not seen in the G1. But I'll go with that one.
All right. I have 5. One of them was Kenny versus Kazuchika at Dominion. We kind of took that off the table, so I'll follow suit.
Sure.
In no particular order, I'll go with Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Almas, which might be my favorite WWE match of the year.
Sure, yeah.
I know a lot of people really like Gargano Ciampa 1, the no DQ match from the TakeOver New Orleans, which I have on here as well. Good. Probably just really likes the Gargano Almas match more. I actually watched that match twice. Yeah. I enjoyed it so much. Golden Lovers versus the Young Bucks.
That was a hot match.
At Strong Style Evolved, we were there.
Match,
Tons of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Minoru Suzuki, greatest wrestler ever, versus Hiroshi Tanahashi at one of the New Beginning shows for the Intercontinental title. Just a brutal match watching Suzuki dismantle Tanahashi.
Who's the
current
IC champion over
Chris
there?
Jericho.
Oh, that's right.
And finally, I'm going to go with, we got a lot of great matches from the Cruiserweight tournament beginning of this year to crown a new Cruiserweight champion after Enzo was stripped of the title. And there's one that I have written down here. Cedric Alexander versus Roderick Strong.
Oh, yeah.
Although Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali was very good, too.
Yeah.
Both those matches were very good, so I'll have that tied for 5th.
Yeah. Yeah, WWE TV is kind of the place they go to for like 205 Live almost every week. 205 Live
There's
has
a heck of a main event usually.
Like, dude, Hideo Itami versus Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, we
this
caught
week?
the end of that here.
Holy crap, that was a good match.
Mustafa Ali is guaranteed to give you a good match.
Best
every
bout
time.
machine, maybe on 205
At
Live.
least on
right
205
there.
Live, yeah.
Leo Rush versus any number of jobbers. My favorite matches of the year. Anything Leo Rush, really. Anything he does. So, yeah, all good answers.
Yes.
Good job, us. Next up from Joshua Martinez. He's got an interesting question about the state of independent wrestling. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey friendos, Joshua Martinez back here this week with another Matt Chat question. So, I was just watching a promo for the G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden, and I was wondering, because I noticed that, and I know people made a big deal, that Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks weren't included in the promotion video for it. So, let's say they do go to WWE next year. Do you think that will have a great impact on New Japan / Ring of Honor and the indies in general? Me personally, I don't think so. I think those companies have strong enough players to hold down the fort and proceed with their takeover, if you will, of the wrestling world. But I'm just wondering what you guys think. Do you think it'll make a significant dent in the independent circuit? Also, want to make a proposal. Is it possible for us to get a friendo class photo at All In, maybe at your StarCast panel, or if you guys are going to Flip Gordon's All Out party, maybe get a bunch of friendos and you can take a photo? I think that'd be pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think.
Thank you, Joshua. Good question.
I go first.
Yeah, you go first. Do you have any extra Rockstar for me?
There's one more in there.
Oh, there's another. I don't want a full one. I just want like the leftovers of that.
You don't want that.
No?
You don't want
No,
that.
I mean like the stuff you didn't use in the can.
No, the whole can went in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
No Rockstar left behind.
Well, let's say New Japan has no more Young Bucks and Kenny Omega.
All right,
What do you
here's
say?
the thing. The indies will be fine. There's plenty of good talent in the indies that the indies will be fine. New Japan will be fine too. I don't necessarily know if it's going to do any damage. I know New Japan is relying a lot on Kenny Omega to help with their expansion into America. But I think a good portion of people who are going to follow New Japan here in the States are already going to follow them. And while the Bullet Club might have been their introduction, I don't think that's the sole reason why New Japan fans here in the States are sticking around. I think it's because the wrestling is awesome. And now that they've been hooked, I think they're going to follow the product regardless of Kenny and the Young Bucks leave or stay. Will it damage their further expansion? I don't know. I think that more so depends on how they go about putting shows on here in the States. We saw at the Cal Palace show was the first one of their shows here in the States that didn't sell out. And be interested to see how the next one in Long Beach does. But at a certain point, well, they are next year. They're doing a co-branded show with Ring of Honor in New York City at Madison Square Garden. I think the major thing for New Japan now, with or without Kenny and the Young Bucks, is to start going to other markets in the United States, not just on the West Coast or not just in California. Go up to Seattle, go to Texas, to Florida. They're going to New York, Chicago. Go to these other major cities, establish a presence there on a somewhat regular basis. I mean, I know they do some other co-branded shows with Ring of Honor, but I'm talking about New Japan shows. I think doing that, giving fans of New Japan in other parts of America the live experience, will counter any loss they might suffer from losing Kenny and the Young Bucks. But so it might be a minor setback, but I don't think it would derail their plans in the least. I think both New Japan and the Indies will be fine. Little bump maybe, but they'll persevere. They'll push forward. They'll continue with their expansion because the product's still going to be great with or without them.
I don't even think there will be a speed bump or a roadblock or whatever you want to call it. I don't even think it's a minor setback for them to leave. I think 2017 and 2018, it was incredibly important for Kenny and the Young Bucks to be in New Japan. I do think that was true for their initial expansion. I think they were vital. I think they were vital to the success. 2019, look at how New Japan, they're setting up Jay White to be another monster, to be another big name in New Japan, right? Kind of a guy who, in some respects, can remind me of Kenny Omega from a couple of years ago.
As the cleaner,
exactly. They are so good at adapting to the situation. A lot of people wrote them off, and granted, I wasn't really paying attention, but in retrospect, I can see, that this was the case when Shinsuke, AJ, and the club left. That they're, oh my God, they just, they lost two of their big 4 or 5, whatever they call them. Well, Kenny Omega stepped up, and it wasn't long before he was main eventer. They are so good at building stars and adapting and changing characters. We've seen what's happened with Balloon Okada. It's fantastic.
They're still doing something with Naito, kind of deconstructing his character too.
I think the bigger loss is for New Japan is Kenny Omega, because the Young Bucks, they're kind of the like the gatekeepers to the tag division now. It's not like they're necessarily. I mean, they're a big deal, and they main evented the Long Beach show that we went to.
Mm-hmm. They're the heavyweight tag champions right now.
But I think New Japan could definitely withstand their loss, and Kenny as well. I don't think there's even going to be. I don't think there's a problem at all losing those guys at this point, because they did so much to help New Japan with this U.S. expansion. They're here. Like you said, people are gonna follow them regardless now, because they've been exposed. Once you're in a New Japan, it's hard to get out of New Japan. So no, I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be totally fine. And I think the independent scene itself, I think, is thriving without them. Yeah. Without them gracing the independent's presence, anyways, all that much.
Apart from PWG, the Young Bucks don't wrestle in the indies at all.
And
Ring of
PWG,
Ring of Honor really is an independent promotion. They're owned by a giant media conglomerate.
Yeah, and PWG is it's entered such a new phase seemingly now with the new venue and them going to the locals a little bit more than they had. So no, I think they did a lot for the non-WWE scene, and all that is paying off now, so they can go and cash in the WWE.
Yep.
So we'll see if that happens. Next up, we've got Matt Chat Hall of Famer A.O. Worm. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy A.O. Worm from another Matt Chat question. All right, Steven Larson. I hope you guys have seen at least one of the Purge movies and know the basic concept of the Purge. 1 day of the year, 12 hours, all crimes are legal. So with that being said, to survive the Purge, what 4 wrestlers would you guys have be with you during the hours of the Purge? So basically it's from 7 to 7. So who would you guys have to protect you either while you're in your homes or while you're trying to go out and do other stuff? All right, guys, take it easy. 2 sweet, hearty handshake.
Thank you, A.O. Worm.
Thank you, A.O. Worm.
I'll go first. Listen to this lineup.
Oh.
Listen to this lineup.
Well, I see it here.
Number one. What do you need in times of tragedy, Larson? Comedy. Give me Yano,
all right,
who has shown not to be just a comedic wrestler, but as we've seen in the G1, granted his point total is very low, but he can shoot wrestle.
Yeah,
with
he was
catch can Yano.
He was an accomplished amateur wrestler, is my understanding.
Yeah. So Yano.
All right.
Who do you also want? You want the smartest guy in any room you go into. That's Xavier Woods, PhD. Xavier Woods. I'm going to take him. Also, he's proven to have chemistry in groups.
Yes.
Boom. Next up, you want somebody who can be violent, who gives no Fs. Give me Shayna Baszler, current NXT Women's Champion. She'll choke out those zombies. No, this is the Purge.
This is the Purge.
She'll choke out those guys who purge people. And then finally, you want the man of the hour, Lio Rush. You always want somebody for recon. He's small. He's very quick. He's very fast. Give me the man of the hour, Lio Rush. And, of course, he's very confident in his own abilities to do that. You can't beat that team right there.
Oh, I think I can. I'll agree with you on Xavier Woods. I'm going to add Asuka, most dangerous women wrestler in the world.
Wild card.
No, there's nothing wild card better. Minoru Suzuki.
Terrible choice.
The best choice.
Super wild card.
No, he's not. He has proven. No, he won't.
It's the Purge.
He has led Suzuki-gun for many years. They seem to be a cohesive unit.
Terrible. They're terrible.
And they know how to work together.
They're not a very good group.
And lastly, Roman Reigns, because unless he's facing off against Brock Lesnar, Reigns always wins.
All right, that's not a bad one. And he's got the chest protector.
Yeah,
that's good.
So I have best team.
No, my team is best team.
No, my team is best team.
All right, next up, speaking of best teams, who would want Patrick Sparks on their team?
Along with Dog.
More importantly, Dog. Let's see Patrick Sparks' question.
Hey, friendos, Pat here. Dog's here too. But here's my debate. So There's a lot of heels in wrestling right now, one of which being Tommaso Ciampa. He is the best heel in the business, in my opinion. If you ask a certain one, Tonga, though, I bet he would argue that. But the way he is getting heat is very controversial. Obviously choking fans, starting Twitter beefs, either with Roman Reigns or with former Navy vets, and being very risque and offensive. My question for you is, I want you to debate, really, why Tommaso Ciampa is doing all the right things to be the best heel in all of wrestling, and why Tonga is doing all the wrong things to be the best heel in wrestling. And could do it vice versa, too, after if you want. I don't care. Thanks, friendos. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, Patrick Sparks.
Thank you, Patrick Sparks and Dog.
Thank you, Dog, too. So, Tonga going too far? Mm-hmm.
No, man. No.
You can't lay your hands on someone in the audience.
Did
you can't do
did
that.
You saw that GIF with me?
I don't care.
He barely touched the dude.
You can't do that.
He was just having fun.
Can't do
He
it.
barely touched that guy.
Can't do it.
Look, I'm not a huge Tonga guy.
Yeah.
I'm not even that big of a fan. I think it's more destructive what he did on Twitter, telling
that's
some
bad,
dude
too.
to shoot himself or whatever.
Yeah, that's not good
That's
either.
not good. And I don't think I think he's a fantastic wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
I think they've kind of misfired on him leading his own faction.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a very strong promo guy. And so yeah, I'm not huge on the whole firing squad thing. But I don't know. I looked back at the thing, and it all looked like it was in good fun. I don't think he was applying any pressure to the neck area.
Well, the recipient of the choke, how'd they take it?
He looked like he was in good fun.
Oh, all
Everybody around them were smiling,
All right.
and he's like an older guy, and he was just sort of doing this like with the choking motion. But then he let go, and he just I didn't see like exactly his face afterwards, but he
Yeah.
didn't seem like he was scared or anything.
Yeah.
It's not like Artest going out in the crowd in
No, I understand that.
in Indiana, Detroit, wherever it was.
Nonetheless, that's kind of a line that's kind of you might not want to cross as a wrestler.
You're probably right. You're probably right. Do they care though? Did New Japan care?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
That I know.
I read something about him littering as being something they had an issue with. I don't know. Twitter's weird. I don't know.
Well, I heard he was going to. They issued a statement, I think, saying that he was going to be facing some disciplinary action.
Yeah, but is that a work? It's probably.
I don't know. That I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, nonetheless, Tommaso Ciampa is the best heel in wrestling right now.
Mm-hmm.
His theme song is literally chorus of boos, and he's doing it in a very old school approach.
Yes.
Which is kind of the best thing. I mean, the formula is pretty basic. He was partnering with a extremely over face. He himself was extremely over as a face. He turned on extremely over face, making the over face more over as a face and making him ultimate heel. And then he proceeded to do really violent things to this extremely over face while also shooting off some ultimate heel promos.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty basic formula. Add in his subtle and at times not so subtle heel work on social media. For example, when he was getting requests to sell that awesome T-shirt he has, he's like,
Nope, not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it.
Sorry.
Great heel move.
Yeah.
Just at every step.
Lost out on a lot of money doing that too.
I know, but it's the right heel move to
It
make.
is,
We've
yeah.
heard Chris Jericho say this before,
Jericho
that
did the same thing.
when he's doing heel, he's working heel, he's one any merch being sold.
Yep.
So just step by step, Tommaso Ciampa is taking a very measured but thorough and complete approach to his heel character.
Yeah.
And I can't think of an instance where he's crossed any line.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why it seems like everything's well thought out, very measured.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what he's doing at every step.
Yeah.
He seems completely in control.
We're in the middle of a very special feud, maybe an all-time NXT feud between Ciampa.
You could even say maybe an
and
all-time feud.
Gargano.
Period.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, all-time is in number one, at least in NXT.
Yeah.
But holy moly, and if it lasts 5 takeovers an entire year,
It's gonna be something else.
that's going to be something. Boy, oh boy, they're doing fantastic stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with everything you said. Ciampa's best heel right now.
Yep.
Absolutely top heel. Next up, we've got DJ Mott, the sneakerhead of the Going In Raw match chat.
Friend of hers.
Yeah.
See what he has to say.
Hey, Steven Larson, it is your Going In Raw sneakerhead DJ Mott here, back with the Jordan 1s. Anyways, got a debate talk for you guys this week. So, Raw is staying on USA. SmackDown is going to Fox. And the XFL is being relaunched. Vince is going to take a step back to run the XFL, and he needs somebody to write and produce Raw. He has chosen between Shane and Triple H. Larson, your job is to debate why Shane should get the job. And Steve, your job is to debate why Triple H should get the job. Too sweet, hearty handshake. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, DJ Mott.
Good luck with that, man. Woo! You have to argue for Shane McMahon?
All right, I'll try, I guess.
You want
Here's
to
the
trade?
thing.
Do you want to trade?
No, here's the thing.
I have a thing for Shane.
I mean, I guess you could make the case, but it seems it's Triple H and Stephanie's show to run once Vince hangs him up or passes away.
Yeah.
And that seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I would think actually Shane would probably maybe be like 5th or 6th in the pecking order.
Yeah.
I can probably think of a couple other people that would probably take charge before he would. I mean, I don't even know what his role is right now. He hasn't been on TV in forever.
Yeah,
I would assume he's operating in some sort of backstage capacity, but we haven't heard anything to that effect.
Yeah.
I know, or at least I think I heard before he left the first time, he wanted to be more involved in the creative process of the show.
Yeah, we had heard that before.
Yeah. And for whatever reason felt like he wasn't, and then went to pursue other ventures. So I don't know if part of the deal when he came back was that opportunity or not.
Yeah.
But just based on the fact that we don't hear really anything about him being involved in creative, he's not, a face right now on our televisions. I'd be hard pressed to make the case. The only thing I could think of is few people in the WWE universe engender as much goodwill as Shane McMahon. People love Shane.
Yeah. Behind the scenes. Yeah. Everybody said he's great.
Yeah. So I could see that. That maybe Shane, everybody seems to like him both in front of and behind the camera. He's got a wealth of experience.
Shane seems like the kind of guy who would hire good people and trust their judgment when he doesn't necessarily. I mean, that's just a feeling I get. I don't know if it's true or not. He comes off that way as opposed to Vince, who probably thinks he knows exactly what he's doing all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Triple H, it's easy to make the case there. Look at NXT, apply that to main roster, and there you go.
Yeah.
Shane's different. A case for Shane could be he hasn't been around for a long time. Like, he left for a long time.
He can bring a fresh perspective to things.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
And, he dabbled in the world of MMA business. Maybe he's got other ideas. It is good to have a fresh pair of eyes. But I think he'd also be a good, sort of managing presence to opens up and say, okay, who's got all the good ideas? Let's bring him in and then make a decision as, committee or whatever. So, I mean, I guess that case could be made. But I have no idea if he even would want to do that.
I know.
It seems like Stephanie and Triple H, they're the people who are in charge of a lot of the creative stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's in really good hands because of that.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got a question from TNA for Life. Let's see what he has to say.
What's up, friendos? It's your boy TNA for Life, here for another Match Chat question. I want to know, Steven Larson, who's going to make a better Universal Champion? Finn Balor or Braun Strowman? Thank you very much. Too sweet. Hearty handshake. Peace out.
Thank you, TNA for Life.
Thank you, TNA for Life. You get to go first,
Better
Steve.
Universal Champion, Finn Balor or Braun Strowman? Look, man, for me, you can never go wrong with, I guess you could kind of call him an underdog because he's undersized compared to a lot of the other people. I feel like Braun, look, I love Braun. I think he's great. Him with the Universal title, it's a really, really big mountain to climb. And I'm not sure. I like it. I like the title better around somebody who's always got to be fighting, scrapping to keep it. And that would be Finn Balor because they like booking him weak against big guys. So I think that I would prefer that. I think it was such a tragedy within the world of wrestling that he got injured and couldn't hold that Universal title until they put it on Brock, which itself would have been a tragedy. I just think that there's more avenues there's more interesting things you could do with Finn Balor as Universal Champion than Braun, who I do not consider him one-dimensional, but he might be one-dimensional as a champion. There's not a whole lot to do when the biggest, baddest dude in the company is sort of hogging the title, I guess. So there you go.
Yeah, I know, because we've seen that the last year and a half with Brock Lesnar carrying the belt. However, it would be a somewhat different take on it with Braun. As you said, he's not one-dimensional. He's got personality. He's got depth. He likes to destroy things, and that's always fun. He'll always be over for no other reason than he likes to destroy things.
Yes.
My worry with Finn, I think you can't go wrong with either of them. My worry with Finn is that they would take a similar approach to how they've approached AJ's title run now, where, yes, he's champion, but how often is he the A story on his show? Not very often. And it seemed like they were maybe going to do that when Daniel Bryan was champion. His first feud after winning the title was against Kane.
Yeah.
You know, Kane, he's a legend. He'll be a Hall of Famer, but not exactly the most inspired first feud.
Yeah.
Whereas with Braun, I feel like if he's going to be Universal Champion, he will be front and center.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know, his story will be a story most of the time, if not all the time, especially if they bring back his feud against Roman Reigns. So I guess, you know, Finn, probably the better wrestler, probably put on the better matches. But I don't see. I mean, I think Braun would be great. I think he'd be outstanding.
Yeah, I think he'd be really good
and I
too.
think it'd be fun to have another long reign from a dominant champion. But then whoever is the one who knocks him off the top of the mountain and gets that belt off him is going to be a massive push for them.
Yeah. When I hear Braun speak sort of like a normal dude, I think Stone Cold. I mean, they both got sort of the Southern thing going. But I could totally see him filling kind of a similar-ish role. I mean, Stone Cold, there's only one Stone Cold, but Braun would be interesting because it's like a monster version of Stone Cold. That'd be interesting. So, and it'd get him away from the thing, you know? It's like, yeah, that'd be fun. Next up from, another new Matt chatter.
Yeah.
Kyle Steven. He's got a question about hand gestures.
Yeah.
Hey, friendos, Kyle Steven here. Now, I'm making a promise and I'm making a fact that the Undisputed Era has already cemented their legacy as one of the groups with the best hand gestures of all time. So, quick debate question. Steve, I want you to debate why it is not the best hand gesture and why it hasn't cemented its legacy yet. And Larson, I want you to support the fact that Undisputed Era, best hand gesture, already cemented its legacy as top hand gesture ever. I can't do it. I only got one hand. Later, friendos.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle Steven.
Oh, that's the Undisputed Era.
Oh, man.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it is. Here's the thing. Too Sweet's been around for a while.
Yeah, it's iconic.
No, it's played out. It's cliche
dude,
at this point.
Too Sweet.
No way. I don't do it.
Yeah.
You know why? It's not cool anymore. It's just not cool. Everybody does it now.
AJ Styles does it.
Yeah.
Finn Balor does it.
I understand.
Finn Balor's the coolest guy around.
Yeah, I know, but Finn Balor is cool because he does this stuff.
Okay, listen. Just listen.
So, stop.
Listen.
Undisputed Era is the best one now because it takes commitment. You need both your hands. You got to commit your whole person to doing it. You just can't throw up a two. You just throw up a Too Sweet casually. There's nothing casual about the Undisputed Era hand
That's the
gesture.
problem
No.
with it.
That's what makes it the best.
He said it at the end of his video, and they make a joke about it. I can't do it half the time if I don't have one hand available.
Well, you can't do it any of the time if you only have one hand.
Exactly. Well, no, if I'm filming something, which the Undisputed Era always are with their little promos.
Yeah.
You're doing that. You can't do it here. You can't. I'm holding groceries. I can't do it here. I got like a bag I'm holding with some stuff from Hot Topic, and I see another Undisputed Era shirt. What do? You can't do it. That's why it's never going to achieve the legacy that Kyle Steven thinks it is. Because, and half the time when I start throwing up, I get confused. This guy go, this? Is it this? I don't even
it's that.
know. See, even you had to think about it.
No, I don't have to think about it anymore.
You do? Yeah, you did.
Anymore.
Well, you just kept your hands that way. Look, you're doing it again. Nah, man. Nah.
No, once you get it in your head and how to do it, it's muscle memory. It's done.
Nah, man.
So here's the thing. Too Sweet now has gone beyond hand gesture. Now it's a salutation.
Yeah.
Like a handshake or a high five.
Yeah, Too Sweet.
The thing is with the Undisputed Era gesture, you can't do it. And that's fine. It exists as its own thing. And as its own thing, I feel like it's better. Yeah.
No, it's just too much.
No, it's not too
What
much.
am I even doing?
You're
right now?
too much.
Not even doing right now. Take that as a compliment. Next up, Adam Nuttall has a very quick question. Listen,
Yes.
listen very carefully.
Very quick.
Listen very carefully. Go.
Mask or face paint?
Might be the shortest question in match chat history. I think
Mask
it's all about 2 seconds.
Or face paint. I'm going to go with face paint. You know why? It's very dramatic, isn't it? When you've got face paint on, during the match, it starts running.
Yeah, it
by
can.
by the end of Hogan versus what's his face, Ultimate Warrior,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't even Warrior anymore. It was just some dude.
It was Jim.
It was just some dude named Jim, out there with some like little chonies on and some tassels, and it was just some dude. So I like that. I like the face. I think Bullet Club was cooler back when the Young Bucks used to put on face paint, and they had flipping what's their faces, the Club, Gallows and Anderson. When they used to wear face paint, everybody's cooler in face paint. That's the thing. Sting, way cooler with face paint. Yeah. So that's why. Masks, anyway, Luchando wears a mask.
See, here's
garbage.
Here's the strength of mask. It brings an air of mystery to the wrestler.
So does face paint.
No, it's not. 'Cause you still see what their face looks like underneath the face paint.
Nah, but you don't.
Whereas
really
the
know.
mask covers the face entirely, complete mystery, and the importance of masks to lucha. You got to mention that too, because there's that great tradition. You got to wear the mask, and no one knows who you are.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's the mask, man.
Oh, man.
It also ups the level of difficulty when you're trying to wrestle with a mask on.
Yeah, that seems. How do they do that?
I
It's
don't know.
crazy.
I don't know, but it's impressive.
It's so constrictive. It's so like. It's you just put it on. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, how's it going?
And you know,
What the hell? Where
and
is
like
it?
Sin
Where is
Cara,
it?
when Sin Cara first came to WWE, they had to dim the lights so you
Yeah.
could see through, like
hell?
the mask.
No, man, I'm not.
Up the
like,
level
the
of
more I
difficulty.
talk about this, the more I hate the mask.
No, masks are great.
Not into the mask.
Masks are great. Complete mystery.
No, man.
Yeah, mystery.
What's the cooler part about Pentagon Jr.? It's the mask area or the face paint? It's the face paint area.
No, it's the whole thing.
It's cooler.
It's the whole thing.
Nah, man.
But without the mask, you just have a guy with with face paint around the mouth,
Yeah, it looked like one of them dudes who huffed some spray paint.
Mhm.
That's cool.
like from Mad Max.
That's or like just mugshot.
Yeah.
I've seen a mugshot of a guy.
Yeah,
Can that be in the thumbnail, please? What's
it's
cooler?
going to be a pretty busy thumbnail. at this
Huffing
point.
spray paint or mask?
Next, we got a question from Zach S. Let's see what Zach S has to say.
All right.
What's good, Stephen Larson, Manny Friendos out there? It's your official friendo for us, IWGP Heavyweight Champ, Zach S. Coming at you with another match chat question. Question this week is, who do you feel is the next person like Triple H in what he did with NXT in the women's division? Who do you feel is the next person backstage or an actual wrestler to make huge strides for the overall product of wrestling and make it a better, overall product? Who is it, and what do you think they're going to do? Thanks, boys.
Thank you, Zach S.
Thank you, Zach S. I go first. Seth
Okay.
Rollins.
Okay.
Okay. There's a lot of... I see some similarities between Seth and Triple H in terms of their approach to the business to a certain extent. And you can tell that Seth is a Triple H guy.
Oh, sure.
I don't know how interested or involved Seth is in the process of actually
Yeah, I
putting
don't
on a
know.
wrestling show.
Yeah.
But I don't really know that as far as anybody.
Yeah.
But I can see Seth being one of those guys who's involved in the business for the vast majority, if not all his life. He seems to love pro wrestling. He's already got his own pro wrestling school. I don't know. I can just see him. And if you hear him or read interviews with him, he seems to have a relatively cerebral approach to his work. And I think that lends itself to being involved in some sort of capacity, whether it be creative or booking matches, whatever, down the line.
I don't know. I have here Samoa Joe. I always thought that when he came into NXT, I was like, oh, well, he's sort of getting a little older. Like, what is his goal? What are his goals?
Be a player-coach situation.
Yeah,
like
right.
We speculated is the case with Cassius Ohno.
Yeah. But I feel like Samoa Joe, I don't know. I feel like he could be like really good in the corporate role, but then I don't know him. I don't know what any of these people's goals are.
I know. Well, like Daniel Bryan, I know he'd probably be really good in terms of the creative, the putting together matches, but in terms of the business aspect of things, something tells me he has virtually no interest in that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like who would be good. I'm not gonna make a Drew Gulak joke here, but like who would be good with like PowerPoint presentation? Triple H is really good with PowerPoint presentations.
Well, it's just not just that though. He has to be good at that. He has to be good with the creative, with the psychological aspects of wrestling. You have to have an overall understanding of how the business runs.
The vision.
You got to have the vision of what or where you want to take it as well. Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know who that is. I really don't.
Yeah, I really don't either. Just guessing here.
Yeah. No, so because I think I originally was thinking Seth also, because I mean, like you said, there's parallels there. You know that he's a Triple H guy. You know Triple H sees a lot in him. So yeah, I could definitely see that. I could see him more than other people. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Roman Reigns gives a crap. I don't think he's going to do that stuff.
Yeah. I don't like Dean Ambrose. I don't think he has much interest in the business aspect of things.
Yeah.
But that's just my gut. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, the thing is, Triple H is like obviously incredibly healthy. He's going to be around for a very long time. So in terms of who is his heir apparent, I don't know. They're probably in their teens right now. You know what I mean? Maybe. Like they're probably not even around. But yeah, he is in a very sort of unique situation, you know, because him and Stephanie, they're like around our age, they're like 40, 45.
They're mid 40s.
Yeah. So
mid late 40s.
I think Stephanie's our
age. Triple H is 47.
Is he that old?
I think
already?
so.
I thought he was like 45. Anyways, next up we have
the Enforcer.
Stevie
Bradley. Let's see what Stevie Bradley has to say.
Hey, Steven Larson and all the friendos out there. It is the official Going In Raw Enforcer, Stevie Bradley. And also you can add Friendo Rumble winner to that as well. I was having a green Saturday afternoon and flipping through the network. I stopped on something called Bunkhouse 88. Now, for people that don't know, it is a cage match. 8 men, 1 winner, but the only way you can win is you either got to throw them out of the cage door or you got to hurl them over the top. 8 men, 1 winner. Winner gets $500,000. I mean, we had Dusty, we had Arn, we had Tully Blanchard, we had Luger. Only dude not to have his shirt on. Of course, total package. So it just got me thinking, give me a bunkhouse stampede today. What 8 men do you have going in that ring? But since it's for $500,000, it's got to be a shoot fight, right? So who you got? Let me know your thoughts, guys. Too sweet, hearty handshake.
Thank you, Stevie Bradley.
Thank you, Stevie Bradley. I'm inserting my picks right now.
Well, this a modern day one, man. You can't have him in it.
You have Dan Severn in yours.
Yeah, he's alive.
He's not.
He's
like 60 years old.
He just wrestled at Matt Riddle's Bloodsport. Anyways, say your picks.
For, Undisputed Era, number 1.
All right.
That's like 3 guys right
there.
there.
Yeah, there's 3.
Jeff Cobb.
All right.
He can throw people around.
Well, he's a former amateur wrestler, yeah.
Bruiser Brody.
Again.
Yeah. No, he's good. This is like in the nexus of time and space. Minoru Suzuki.
Of course.
Yeah. He
wins.
He'd win.
He wins.
Yes.
He's the pick to win.
Watching those pancrase matches, man, that dude was crazy. Rick Steiner, of course, collegiate wrestler, legit.
Why not Scott?
Badass. Because he's crazy. Sammy Callahan.
Well, he's crazy.
He was not legit, though. He uses spikes,
all right, sorry.
baseball bats.
All right, just stop. This is the right answer.
That's good.
Matt Riddle, Minoru Suzuki.
Matt Riddle.
Heck yeah, man. Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay.
Samoa Joe, Bobby Lashley, Dan Severn.
That's dumb. Dan Severn, you lost.
He just wrestled at Matt Riddle's Bloodsport.
That can't be real.
At 60 years old, he can still...
Was it like NWO Dan Severn?
No, it was real Dan Severn.
No, man.
Even at his age, he can legit beat up 95% of the populace. Daniel Bryan.
Did him and Suzuki ever fight?
Maybe. I don't know.
Ooh.
I'll check. Daniel Bryan, CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Minoru Suzuki wins. It's down to Dan Severn and Minoru Suzuki. Suzuki wins.
Yeah, we're both good with that. Next up, we've got a question from Elias's Guitar Tech, another new Matt Chatter. This is great. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello, I am Elias's Guitar Tech. Josh Fields here with my very first Matt Chat question. Now, Steven Larson, like yourselves and many friendos out there, I enjoy my fair share of video games. My question for you is, if you could create any type of WWE non-wrestling video game, what type of video game would you create? Me personally, I'd like to create an RPG with The Undertaker, trying to harvest souls using the powers of darkness. Too sweet, hearty handshake. I look forward to hearing your answers.
Thank you, Elias's Guitar Tech.
Thank you. All right, this is the correct answer. It's any sort of open world game with Undisputed Era.
What would you do in this video game?
Everything.
Anything
you wanted.
Like a Sims version? Like a Sims with the Undisputed Era? GTA? What kind of open
Yeah.
world? GTA?
All.
Oh, and Sims.
Everything.
Wow.
It's a full, an unlimited life simulation game, open world.
With Undisputed Era.
Where you play as one of the members of Undisputed Era.
Okay, what are your objectives?
I mean, what are their objectives? Win all the titles.
They're just dudes.
Be awesome.
Oh.
You get awesome points.
No, this is terrible. I have the right answer. It's a Ninja Gaiden reboot, but with Leo Rush.
All right.
Remember, like because it's like a side scroller.
Yeah.
And you have to be super fast.
Uh-huh.
That's what I want. It's
No,
called
everybody wants to play with as Undisputed Era, man.
Ninja Gaiden, but with the man of the hour.
Yeah.
No, man, I feel like Undisputed Era. It's just like a lot of driving from town to town. Like
no, it all takes place.
It
all takes place in Orlando.
You're making it worse. Everything
it's
you
better.
say makes it worse.
It's better. It's got Undisputed Era in it. It's going to be the best.
What you should have said is like that Yakuza game that has all the New Japan people, but Undisputed
That's
Era.
just a reskin then.
It's a brand new adventure.
No, it'd be a
with
reskin.
Undisputed Era.
I don't want to limit it to some, like criminal open world game. I want it to be more than that.
You know what I want to do? I've been itching to get back into Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, yeah.
The GTA 5. I should start an Undisputed Era faction.
All right.
Like
maybe there's an Undisputed Era mod.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can't use those on online gaming though.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Next up, from Delete from the Freak Legion.
Correct.
Let's see what he has to say.
What's up, Stephen Larson? Your boy, Delete, Freak of Destruction, representing the Freak Legion with my guys here. My Matt Chat question this week is, if given the same seat at every single show, what is the best wrestling show to go to? Thank you. Too sweet, hearty handshake.
Thank you, Delete.
I really love the Freak Legion. Look, that Delete has henchmen next to him. They're all sporting the Going In Raw Patreon shirt. That's awesome.
That is great. You get to go first.
I didn't entirely understand this question. Best show to watch from the same seat.
Yeah.
Of
No,
show?
I think that means like say you have a front row seat to any show you want to go to, which would be the best show from that vantage point. That's how I interpreted it.
I'll say this. I'm going to say, so the best live experience I've ever had has been PWG, specifically when they were in Reseda, in that armory, wherever they were.
American Legion Hall.
Yeah. So I would say that because they're known for putting on spectacular matches. They seem to be in a bit of a transitional phase right now. It'll be interesting to see what kind of buzz they have coming out of Bola. But man, my God, that was so much fun. Now they're in more of a theater setting, but the American Legion Hall was something very special, and I had a lot of really great. I went to 2 shows there, and in those 2 shows I had a really, really fun time. So I would say old school PWG. That's my answer.
All right, that's a good answer. However, whenever someone does like a high flying move, you have to get up and move your chair. It's an inconvenience.
No, that's awesome. I love that.
No, it's a hazard potentially. I don't like it.
Experience, man.
So I'm gonna say if I can have front row at any show, give me Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
New Japan right now is the best wrestling product probably. They always deliver at Wrestle Kingdom. Matches across the board are top notch. I just can't think of potentially a better experience. WrestleMania, you got to deal with the matches of late at least. Mostly underwhelming, but also all the production stuff, the flashing lights and all that
good, man.
Garbage.
Good.
Raw or SmackDown, no, because there's commercial breaks. There's a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's either a takeover or Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, I like Wrestle Kingdom. How long? Wrestle Kingdom is like a 5-hour show. That's perfect. WrestleMania is 8 hours.
Yeah, no, it's too long.
Way too long.
Too long.
Even if you're front row, it's way too long.
Oh yeah.
So I like your answer. I like my answer. They're both
good
really
answers.
Good answers. Next up, also from the Freak Legion, Loki.
See what Loki has to say.
Hello, Stephen Larson. Loki Richard here. Nemo got mad at me for hiding under the bed, so she broke my mask. Buddy Love, Delete, representing the Freak Legion, here at a house show nowhere close to you. I miss you. We have a question for you. Each one of us represents a wrestling style, luchador, technical, powerhouse. Nemo is a striker, Gauze is a submission tech. So our question is, what is the best wrestling style? Have fun with the debate and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Loki. So first I thought, so we saw that video second. First I thought Loki and the other dude were Delite's henchmen. Now it looks like Delete and other dude are Loki's henchmen.
They're all part of the Freak Legion, man.
Well, yeah, man. So anyways, that was Loki without his mask.
Yeah.
So yeah, his question is
best wrestling style, strong style. What's the most exciting wrestling promotion right now in the whole world? New Japan Pro Wrestling. Strong style.
Mat-based submission wrestling, when done properly, is amazing. I'm thinking of Zack Sabre Jr.
Stop banging on the table.
Drew Gulak, Danielle Bryan.
Yeah, it's all good stuff.
Tyler Bate, joint manipulation.
Pete Dunne.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Well, he's more as MMA.
Yeah,
MMA
but yeah, it's MMA, but it's like submission. He's always like doing that stuff.
I'm telling you, it's strong style. Because you get some of the
What
submission
even
stuff.
is
You get
strong style?
heavy striking.
You tell me, what is the definition of strong style?
It's striking,
Yeah.
heavy, snug, stiff, but not dangerous.
Yeah.
Unless it's one of those matches where they drop each other on their head all the time.
Yeah. I don't like that stuff, man. I don't like that. Safe mat-based wrestling. Nobody's getting concussions from submissions. Everybody's good. Everybody's fine.
People could get hurt and get a joint
they
dislocated.
Can't. No, they won't.
Could happen.
Because people are safe workers.
No,
it's
strong style.
mat-based.
Strong style is
wrestling.
the most exciting style.
Let's hear what Minnesota Joe has to say.
Oh, yeah.
I love this question.
Hey, friendos. It's Minnesota Joe here, back with another Matt Chat question. And I got a good one, I think, this week. One that's fun. Now, recently, I watched a match. It was Chris Benoit versus David Flair on WCW Nitro. Best squash match ever. Just Chris Benoit was just beating the shit out of this guy. I mean, it was awesome. I love like long, really good like 5 to 7 star matches, but I also love a really good squash match. Just as good in my opinion. I just want to ask you guys, what's your all-time favorite squash match? Thanks, friendos. Too sweet and a hearty handshake.
Thank you, Minnesota Joe.
Thank you, Minnesota Joe. You go first.
My favorite squash match is Lesnar Cena from, what was that, SummerSlam 2014?
Yeah, this is the right answer.
It's where, shockingly, Brock Lesnar annihilated John Cena with like how many German? 16
Over
German
the course
suplexes.
of like 12 or 15 minutes.
Oh man, he just annihilated John Cena.
It got uncomfortable to watch at points.
It really did. It was fantastic, and it was absolutely like it was one of those things. Like, whoa, that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Lesnar Cena.
I have 3 others, and they're not better than this, but they're memorable nonetheless. So I'll mention them.
James Ellsworth versus Braun is one of them.
Yeah, that's up there. I was going to mention Nakamura beating Jeff Hardy at the last pay-per-view with a low blow in Kinshasa.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Perhaps one of the most shocking was Sheamus beating Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 28 in like 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Took one bro kick. Not the best, but memorable. Also, this last WrestleMania, it was pretty much a squash match. The Undertaker absolutely destroying John Cena in a matter of about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Just destroying him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are the ones that come to mind.
Good
But yours
stuff.
is the right answer.
Yeah, because, man, and Lesnar's all purple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was only took about 2 suplexes for that to happen.
Next up, we've got Double J. Ain't he great?
Ain't he great?
Ain't he great? Let's see what he has to say.
Yo, Steve, Larson, it's Double J, Joe Jensen. Ain't I great? So, my match chat discussion this week is I want you to create a new 3-man commentary team for all 4 brands. The catch is with the color commentary has to be a WWE superstar on that brand, and they can't have previously worked, all 3 of them can't have previously worked as commentators before. Too sweet, hearty handshake. Peace.
Thank you, Double J.
Thank you, Double J. Ain't he great?
I guess I got to go first. So I'm
How about this? You take 2, I'll take 2.
Well, I was going to say, let's do this. Let's take all 4 brands,
Okay.
but let's only use talent on the active roster as commentators.
Yeah, I think that's what. I
Yeah,
think
more or
that's
less.
what his
I
question
think,
is. Yeah.
So let's start. I'll start with NXT.
Okay.
Give me Ciampa.
Okay.
I guess Ciampa. Adam Cole.
Oh, man, yeah.
And then need a face, though.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not too heel heavy.
Candice LeRae.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
There we go.
SmackDown, this is easy. The New Day.
Yeah, piece of cake. 205 Live, Leo Rush.
Yeah.
Drew Gulak.
Oh, that's good.
And Mustafa Ali.
No, kick off Mustafa Ali. You got too much of a man crush on Mustafa Ali. We need somebody else. I know there's another promo guy in there. There's another really good mic guy. Drake Maverick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
All right.
good.
All right. Raw.
Kevin Owens has to be on.
Kevin
there.
Owens.
He's for sure. I'm gonna say. I'll say this: Kevin Owens, Jinder Mahal, and
need a face.
I feel like Seth would be really good.
Yeah, I think he would
be really
good
actually
too.
really good.
I think he'd be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal.
Oh no! Here we go.
All right. Our last video question is from Young Liam Reborn. Let's see what Young Liam has to say.
Sorry, guys. I don't feel too good to do this match chat, but I feel like I'm possessed by something. I feel like I'm possessed by the devil. Now, here's my question for you, Stephen Larson. Out of all the WWE universe, out of everybody, sir, who is the most devil?
Pretty great.
That's pretty great.
It's pretty great.
The devil. WWE superstar that's like the most
like the devil's Bray
like
Wyatt.
The devil?
He said he had satanic powers at one point.
It's literally Bray Wyatt. He actually said he had satanic powers.
But then they manifested themselves by just projecting stuff on the ring, so they weren't that impressive.
I mean, but it was
he can teleport.
Educational experience.
He can teleport though.
Has there been in the history of WWE any like Lucifer or Satan guys? I mean, there's Kane.
Wasn't there? Was it named
Kane's from hell?
Mordecai? Wasn't he like some sort of supernatural type thing?
Is he supposed to be Satan?
Maybe.
Is there like somebody? Well,
what about Gangrel? He was a vampire.
That's not satanic.
No, I know.
Vince McMahon fought God, right?
It's true. Yeah.
So there's got to be a Satan. Vince, kind of satanic during a lot of his run. I mean, it's probably Kane. He's red. He comes from hell.
He's the devil's favorite demon.
Did the devil have an actual name? Was it Lucifer? Did he have
the fallen? I believe the fallen angel.
Not Christopher Daniels.
No, but biblically speaking, I believe it was Lucifer. Yes.
The devil. When he was an angel, did he have a?
I think it was Lucifer.
Really?
I think
the
so.
Angel Lucifer. Let's find out. I'm gonna look this up now.
All right.
His name as an angel was David Putty. That's right.
It's bogus, man.
That's bogus. Let's see here. Cosmological. Blah, 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 blah. I have no idea. Anyways,
it's Bray Wyatt.
It's Bray Wyatt. He literally has Satan powers.
Or did.
I
don't think he does anymore.
Yeah.
Next, couple of text questions. First, from Mo Clo, master of the low blow. Who is the best wrestling promoter that you are aware of and why? Use any criteria. Do not choose any of the McMahons. Thanks, friendos.
I'm going to say Jim Crockett. Because he's the only guy...
He made one really bad blunder.
Who made one bad blunder, but he's the only guy who kind of challenged WWE a little bit.
Until he gave him his TV spot.
Am I right about that? When did he die? Did he die? Oh, I'm looking at the actual Jim Crockett promotions. Where's Jim Crockett?
There's probably a link in there somewhere.
Jim Crockett. Look at that guy telling me he ain't a great wrestling promoter. Just look at all you got to do is Google Jim Crockett's face and... This dude, that's the most wrestling promoter guy ever.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him. He's going to give you a decent payout. I don't know. His ring name was Big Jim? Really? Well, there you go. It's perfect. It's Jim Crockett.
No, it's Super Dragon Excalibur.
Oh, PWG guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
I mean, they've been around since 2003.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, I don't know if they've been in charge of the book or promoting since then. They are two of the co-founders, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They currently run the place. I mean, few promotions here in the States especially have the buzz that PWG has still, even with the loss of all this indie talent that's getting signed up by WWE.
Yeah, the jury's still kind of out.
They're transitioning to...
When's the last time you heard about a really killer PWG show?
I don't know.
It's been a while. I want to see what they do
Cyclical.
at Bola.
Cyclical.
I want to see what they do at Bola.
I know. It's all cyclical, though.
Battle of Los Angeles.
But nonetheless, they managed to keep this promotion alive and thriving and having a lot of buzz around it for the better part of 15 years.
Yeah.
It's a really impressive feat. and you know they're especially at their peak when they were in that American Legion Hall. It was one of the hottest tickets in all of LA.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Tickets would sell out in a matter of seconds.
Now anybody just stroll up day of.
I don't think that's the case though.
Just plunk down $10 and get in there.
I'll say Super Dragon and Excalibur of PWG.
That's good. R.I.P. PWG, right?
No, they're gonna be fine.
You think so?
Yeah, they'll be fine.
I don't know. They sell DVDs. That's like their main business model.
I know, and it's worked somehow.
I don't know. I don't think it can anymore though.
But it does. They're still around. They're doing fine.
For now, yes.
Yes.
When's the last time you heard of some buzz about PWG though?
Final question from Tom Fox. He asked, between New Japan Pro Wrestling and NXT, which is a better promotion overall? As we all know, NXT is Steve's favorite. That's exactly what I want Steve to convince me why New Japan is better. Larson, you've got NXT.
So this is not a difficult argument to make on either one. They both have their things. They both have their pros. I mean, the easiest way to convince you about New Japan is they have all the best matches. The takeovers are some of the buzziest shows of the year. But, I mean, come on, man. The G1 is going on right now, and it's just amazing match after amazing match after amazing match. They literally booked the entire month of, July or late July and early August to put on just amazing matches. So it's that. The production value of their product is amazing. They have a fantastic roster of talent, and they have shown that they are relatively future-proof. They have shown a tendency to build huge new stars, withstand other people leaving New Japan. They have alliances with Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling, of course. So, yeah, they are Ichiban.
They're great. NXT for me is kind of that sweet spot between the pure wrestling excellence of New Japan and then the story-driven stuff of WWE. There's a lot of really great wrestling in NXT, just enough of the more narrative-focused storylines that we get on WWE television. It's the best 1 hour of wrestling TV, bar none. It's condensed. It's always, well, generally, very entertaining. They get a lot of story in every episode. Very rarely, apart from the takeover recaps, do I feel shorted after watching it. And every once in a while, they'll toss in a title change, like we just saw this past week.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, few shows are as buzzed about as takeovers. They always deliver. We think, the build to this takeover has been lackluster. Wow, what a gosh darn impressive show. Mm-hmm. Happens every time.
Yep.
You mentioned New Japan, despite losses of talent, they managed to build new stars. That's what NXT is all about.
Yep.
That's the very nature of the product, is a developmental program. So like a minor league baseball team, there's going to be a lot of turnover in the talent. Nonetheless, they managed to continually find new stars to build the promotion around. They get built up. They put a title on them. They're incredibly popular, and they get brought to the main roster. And generally speaking, or their story or their creatives are bungled.
Yeah, exactly.
So it really forces us to enjoy their time on NXT.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does. I mean, that is the one thing that I can say about NXT that you're absolutely right on, is that it is getting to the point. It is getting to the point where the call-ups, as exciting as they may seem, because like, ooh, who's going to get called up? Eventually you just realize, they're not gonna play them right, man.
Mm-mm.
They're not. Like, look at the purgatory that Finn Balor's in.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I look at, man. It's just it's terrible. So anyways, yeah. Anyways, another great episode of Matt Chat in the books. Wow, wasn't that awesome? Anyways, you too can put your video question on Matt Chat. Just go to the Patreon at patreon.com/Steven Larson, plunk down $20, and you can send us our video questions.
Yeah.
Till next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.